What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Blue Collar Man of God channel. Thank y'all for joining me. Hit the like button, subscribe button. If y'all enjoying the content, I got a video I want to play for y'all. It's a serious topic, but real quick before we get into that, oftentimes we, especially as black men, and I believe men in general, in this modern era, we aren't taught how to decipher when it makes sense to protect the women around us and when it doesn't make sense. When it's a noble thing to do, when it's a righteous thing to do, versus when it's just a lost cause and we should just throw our hands up and walk away. So I'm gonna share this video with y'all, and then I'll come back and
Story here at home. One person is dead, another in the hospital after a shooting in Detroit. This happened on Wisconsin in the area of Wyoming and Grand River on the city's west side. Megan Woods is live with more on what happened there. Megan?
Sandra, police say it happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon, but you see behind me hours later, they're still on scene trying to piece together what happened. As of right now, they say it may have started as a domestic situation where it was an agreement that it was only going to be a fist fight, but that escalated into all of this.
It's a lot of violence, but it's stupid. It shouldn't have happened.
People who live here on Wisconsin Street want to stay anonymous, but say they heard all the commotion and then shots.
And when I saw him fall in front of the car, I came out and I started doing CPR. I told my daughter to call 911 and tell them that there were shots fired and there was 2 people down.
Now, one man in his 20s is dead, and another man around the same age was also shot and in critical condition. Police believe this all started with a man who lives here on the 12,000 block and the mother of his child.
It appears there was some type of argument. The individual who doesn't reside at the location left the location, returned with her 2 brothers. When they returned, it was supposed to be an agreement that it would be a fist fight.
But neighbors say that quickly changed.
He had to have said something because both the males on the outside ran inside, and then all you heard was gunshots. And the 2 men come running outside, and they were still shooting at him.
We look out for the people over here. So nobody messes with nobody usually. In this neighborhood, we all know each other. Nobody usually does this. Sometimes it happens.
Police say there are 3 persons of interest who are being questioned, but as of right now, there are no arrests. This is all still under investigation. Live in Detroit, I'm Megan.
So as we can see, there's a young lady who got into it with her child's father, and she went back home and got her 2 brothers involved. They went back to her child's father's house, which is a no-no, number one. Unless you prepare to kill or lose your life, you should never go to another man's property when intent to do harm. It's never really a good idea unless you can guarantee there be some kind of mutual combat. But anyway, this girl went and got her 2 brothers, got them riled up, got them in an emotional headspace. They clearly weren't thinking. They went over. It was supposed to be about mutual understanding that they were supposed to have some kind of fight, but in the hood, these things never go like that. So they proceeded to kick this man's door in because obviously he, wasn't going for whatever. They kicked the man's door in. Man shot and killed one brother. The other guy's in critical condition. First and foremost, in the Bible, Proverbs 31, verse 3, I'm going to paraphrase. It says that as men, we should not give our strength to women, nor should we participate in things that destroy kings. And what that's, trying to tell us is that our strength and our physical prowess belongs to us, and we decide when it's necessary to use that, and we should not be following women and allowing them to use us as crash dummies or attack dogs when they see fit. Because most of the time, especially, I got a sister, I'm sure a lot of y'all got sisters, we know that women exaggerate a lot of stuff, and They don't always think things through to the worst case scenario, especially in this particular situation, because you can't tell me that woman didn't know that her baby daddy was armed and that he had a weapon in his house. And that's the kind of information that women will leave out when they come get you to put your life on the line for them. Now, as men, what we have to consider is that we have to consider the source of the information. Prime example, if you have a sister and you know your sister is got a mouth on her, you know she's what she's got going on in her relationship is mutual combat. You know that the likelihood of if you go fight this man or whatever the case may be, she'll end up back with the dude within a couple of days. In scenarios like this, it doesn't make, why go out there and put yourself in a situation like that that's not going to be resolved. You know, now if that woman is trying to get away from that man, you tell her, hey sis, look, you need to get away from that dude. I'll help you. You know, you want to drop the kids off, I'll go over there with you, make sure nothing happens. It's a smooth transition. But you need to get away from that person. And if she does that, cool. If the man is harassing her, whatever the case may be, then, you know, first thing you need to do is file a police report and make sure you got all your ducks in a row. That way, if something does happen, it's already documented and it's, you know, it's a justified, you know, situation. If it has to go to the level, to that level of violence. But what oftentimes happens is, you know, our sisters, our girlfriends, daughters, you know, they come up to us and we love them so much and we want to protect them because it is our duty, but it needs to make sense. And they come to us and they tell us somebody put their hands on them and we get so riled up, we get so emotional that we stop thinking. And that's why I tell you guys all the time, you have to, as a man, you have to operate in this world from your mind. You have to let your mind guide you. And when we stay in our logic and we stay in that headspace, 9 times out of 10 we'll find the scenario that best suits the situation. Because women will book you for a fight, you get beat up or die, and then they leave, and then their life goes on. They cry for a little bit, and they continue to live their life, and you in the ground. And especially if you got kids or a wife, you know they're gone. They lost you behind some foolishness. Now, this woman went and got her brothers involved in something they didn't have to get involved in. She got into an altercation with her child's father, she wasn't in imminent danger when she talked to them. She could have not involved them and just walked away scot-free and just been in a co-parenting situation where she didn't have to deal with that type of stuff. But instead, she went and got her brothers riled up. They went and kicked this man's door in, and rightfully so. He defended his house and defended his person, killed one of the brothers, and the other brothers in critical condition. It also happened right in Detroit, where I'm from, you know, where I currently reside. So it's an unfortunate situation, but it's a cautionary tale. It's something that we all can learn from, because most of us have sisters, we have daughters, all of us have mothers. Excuse me. And these situations will most likely happen to you, and we have to be very careful about how we move and how we respond. And we should not be allowing ourselves to be crash dummies and attack dogs at the word of a woman, of any woman. We need to make sure that that woman is rational in the first place, and that woman isn't a woman who's always involved in these kind of toxic situations. You know, it may be sad to say, but some family members are not worth protecting, because they'll always put you in a situation where you find yourself risking your life for foolishness. And that's not something we should do. As men of God, we have a purpose. You know, we have things that God wants us to do, and we can't be sidetracked by foolishness. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus was preaching in the synagogue. He was doing what he does. And his mother and, you know, brother and all them, they came, asked people to come get him, and Jesus said, no, I ain't worried about them right now. You know, who is my mother, who is my father, who is my brother, but those that do the will of my Father. You know, Jesus didn't stop what he was doing to entertain foolishness, and that's the type of mind we need to have. I'm not saying I'm gonna protect your sister. What I'm saying is, does it make sense to do? Is it a situation where you exhausted all other options to where that's the only option you have left? So stay logical, fellas. Stay in your mind. Do not allow yourself to get emotional, because these are the type of things that can result and happen when we allow ourselves to, be led by the word of someone who's not thinking and not considering what could happen to us in the long run. So,
hi, Daddy.
Hi, Kenzie. Hi. That's my baby, y'all. But thank you for joining me, man. I hope y'all learned something. I'm out.